How did an entire nation become enthralled by evil? How did the Nazis, with their ideology of hate and destruction, gain such power and influence? Through the lens of history, we explore the psychology behind the rise of fascism and its impact on society.
Der nationalen Regierung auf den Gebieten des wirtschaftlichen Lebens. Hier wird ein Gesetz alles Handeln bestimmen.
The atrocities committed by the Nazis serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked authority and the consequences of blind obedience. But how did it all begin? How did an ideology of hate take hold of a nation? To understand this, we must go back to the turbulent years of post-World War I Germany. After World War I, Germany was left devastated and humiliated by the Treaty of Versailles. The economic hardships, coupled with political instability, created the perfect breeding ground for extremist ideologies to take hold. Amidst this turmoil, Adolf Hitler emerged as a charismatic leader, promising to restore Germany to its former glory through propaganda of fear and manipulation. The Nazis were able to transform Germany into a totalitarian state, where dissent was crushed and conformity was enforced. As the Nazis consolidated their power, they began implementing their racist ideology, leading to the persecution and the eventual extermination of millions of Jews and other minority groups. The atrocities committed by the Nazis serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked authority and the consequences of blind obedience.
In atrocities such as the Holocaust, he set up an experiment. Volunteers were told they were taking part in scientific research to improve memory.
Would you open those and tell me which of you is which, please?
Stanley Milgram's experiments at Yale University in the 1960s were groundbreaking in understanding the psychology of obedience. Participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to an unseen person, with the intensity increasing with each incorrect answer. Despite the screams of pain from the unseen person, the majority of participants continued to administer the shocks simply because they were told to do so by an authority figure. Milgram's experiments reveal the startling truth that under certain circumstances, ordinary people are willing to commit horrific acts when commanded by authority. This insight would later inspire Ron Jones to conduct his own experiment, the third wave, to demonstrate the power of authority and conformity. In 1967, at Cubberley High School in Palo Alto, California, history teacher Ron Jones conducted a social experiment that would challenge the beliefs of his students and shock the world. Here's some word from his interview. I wanted to teach my students about the allure of fascism, about how easy it is to fall into line and become part of a movement without questioning it. Ron Jones introduced the third wave as a way to demonstrate how easily individuals could be influenced by authority and conformity. Here's some interview with his student. At first, it just seemed like a fun, interactive way to learn about history. but it quickly became something much more intense. We were told to follow strict rules and adhere to a sense of unity and discipline. It was like we were part of something bigger than ourselves. As the experiment progressed, the students became deeply engrossed in the movement, demonstrating unwavering loyalty to Jones and the principles of the third wave. I was shocked by how quickly the students embraced the authoritarian structure of the third wave. It was a sobering realization of the power of conformity. However, as the experiment began to spiral out of control, Ron Jones made the difficult decision to end it, realizing the potential consequences of unchecked authority and groupthink. The third wave experiment serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of conformity and the importance of questioning authority. As the third wave gained momentum, the once ordinary classroom became a microcosm of authoritarianism, with students fully embracing the principles of discipline and unity. Here's some interview with his former student. It was like we were part of something special, something powerful. We felt a sense of belonging and purpose that we had never experienced before. I remember feeling a bit uncomfortable at first, but as everyone else seemed to be on board, I didn't want to be the odd one out. Under Ron Jones' guidance, the students engaged in activities that promoted discipline, conformity, and group cohesion. They wore armbands with the third wave logo and even created a salute. I was amazed at how quickly the students embraced the ideology of the third wave. It was a stark reminder of the power of group dynamics and the allure of authority. However, as the experiment progressed, cracks began to appear in the facade of the third wave. Some students started to question the rules and the direction in which the movement was heading. I remember feeling uncomfortable with some of the things we were being asked to do. It just didn't feel right. When Ron Jones told us the experiment was over, I was shocked. It was like waking up from a dream and realizing how far we had gone. I felt a mix of emotions. On one hand, I was relieved that it was over, but on the other hand, I was left questioning my own actions and beliefs. Realizing the potential consequences of unchecked authority and groupthink, Ron Jones made the difficult decision to end the third wave. He called a meeting with his students and announced that the experiment was over. Ending the third wave was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make as a teacher. It was a stark reminder of the power of authority and the dangers of conformity. In the days and weeks that followed, Ron Jones and his students grappled with the lessons learned from the third wave. The experiment had left a lasting impact on everyone involved, challenging their beliefs and perceptions. The end of the third wave marked the end of an experiment, but it was also the beginning of a journey of self-discovery and reflection for Ron Jones and his students.